The feeling of loneliness is not a new phenomenon, but it seems to be becoming increasingly prevalent over time. It can be powerful when properly understood by the person, but it is also one of the most despairing feelings for those who do not know how to deal with it. This feeling gained prominence, especially after the end of the isolation and the increased use of social media, while paradoxically, many of us feel increasingly isolated. Although technology has connected people from all over the world, it cannot completely replace face-to-face human contact. These factors, along with others, have contributed to the rise of isolation in many individuals. Dealing with these feelings can be challenging unless we have the right tools to face them. In this video, we will explore ways to cope with loneliness and develop the wisdom needed to navigate this complex emotional territory. Before we delve deeply into philosophy, it's important to understand that if you feel lonely, you are likely struggling to find people who share your values, interests, and willingness to build genuine connections. It's not just about being with anyone but being selective in choosing your companions and finding your affinity group. The second important thing is learning to feel comfortable being alone. Learning to cope with loneliness may be easier for some people than for others, but it's a skill that can be developed. After all, the only person you spend 100% of your time with is yourself. Some of us don't enjoy our own company, which not only makes it difficult to be alone but also makes us dependent on others or distractions like phones, computers, or televisions. This can undermine our mental peace over time. However, this doesn't mean we are destined to be alone. We are social beings who need connections with others, such as friends and community. Nevertheless, learning to be at ease with oneself helps manage the time spent alone. We have all experienced the uncomfortable feeling of loneliness at some point in our lives. It can occur in a crowded setting where we feel like strangers or when we are physically alone, craving companionship. Loneliness weighs us down, affecting our well-being. However, how we confront loneliness varies from person to person. Some people allow loneliness to dominate them, leading to a deeper state of despair. If we recognize this in ourselves, it's important to be honest and deal with it rather than blame the world around us. It's often easy to blame the world for our feelings, which makes us feel that we don't need to change anything in our lives or in ourselves. However, this is a dangerous trap. Our thoughts and actions are under our control and are our responsibility to make the most of. Some people turn loneliness into art, poetry, or music, while others see it as an indicator that they need to work on themselves, seeking ways to diminish this feeling or using it as an opportunity for self-development. It's this latter option that we will explore here. The ancient Greeks had a word for loneliness, eremia, which indicated a state of solitude. However, they also developed a powerful philosophy to limit the negative impact of this feeling on our mental peace. We will explore the Stoic approach to loneliness, seeking the wisdom of philosophers like Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca, and learn how to apply it to our daily lives. Our exploration of Stoicism doesn't intend to offer a magical solution to loneliness, as no philosophy can promise that. However, it will provide us with tools to better understand and navigate this complex emotion. But what is loneliness, after all? It can be a difficult feeling to define. It's not just the absence of company but also feeling disconnected from oneself and others, often without understanding why. It can arise in a crowded party or when we are alone in our living room. It's a painful void that cannot be easily filled by other people or things. Loneliness is not exclusive to any individual. We all, regardless of age, nationality, or social status, experience loneliness at different times in our lives. This unites us, as we all know this feeling. Understanding this shared experience can create a sense of empathy among people. So, what can we do about loneliness? The Stoics believed that wisdom was a fundamental virtue necessary for living a good life, and it has two parts. The first part is the ability to see the world around us clearly, freeing ourselves from biases and looking at reality as it is. Socrates believed that wisdom was the ability to see the truth in things, dismantling anything that distorts it, such as judgments and biases. The second part of wisdom is putting this knowledge into practice, making informed decisions based on the available information. This wisdom can help us deal with loneliness by facing the reality of who we are and whether we are content with it. If we are not happy in our own company, dealing with loneliness will be challenging. No one else can solve this for us, we need to look inward and find our own answers. However, it's important to do this with compassion and understanding, not to blame or punish ourselves for the past. Look honestly at yourself, accept your reality, and understand that the you from the past didn't know what you know now. People are constantly evolving, and we can learn to improve our current selves. The way we speak to ourselves is also important. If we can't be compassionate and are constantly blaming ourselves, we won't be good company for ourselves. We will be plagued by negative feelings like guilt, remorse, frustration, and self-pity. Therefore, we should be the second person, the one who encourages us, works with us to improve, and forgives us when we are striving to change. The Stoics emphasized control over our thoughts and actions. We accept what we cannot control and take responsibility for what is under our control. In the context of loneliness, this means that we need to take responsibility for our ability to feel comfortable in our own company and for the quality of our social connections. If our loneliness arises from our difficulty in being with ourselves, we are responsible for taking action to change those feelings. If loneliness stems from difficulty in making social connections, we are responsible for becoming people others feel comfortable around. This doesn't mean we should pretend to be someone we're not. Instead, we should strive to become constructive individuals, good friends, and good partners. Additionally, we should take responsibility for finding our group by choosing environments and company that share our values, interests, and worldview. In summary, Stoic wisdom can help us deal with loneliness by teaching us to face the reality of who we are, be compassionate with ourselves, take responsibility for our thoughts and actions, and work to improve the quality of our social connections. By doing so, we have a good chance of becoming more comfortable in our own company and forming stronger social connections. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel to receive more inspiring content like this. I will also leave links to 2 other videos that I believe you will enjoy. Take care, and until next time.